Welcome back. We're here to do our update for the super chats. Yes, it is the last one for public for the year, and that is for those of you that do watch us via the public sphere. We do have one more super chat, and that is going to be hosted via the members. And we have had a lot of changes happening with StreamYard, so bear with me as I try and get this working. There's been a lot of glitches with it. They have changed ownership. So sometimes when you're actually doing the slides and things like that, it's actually not coming through right away. So bear with me while I'm trying to navigate it. Still umming and ahhing whether I'm going to keep with it or go with another actual streaming service to provide the content. So we will see. So lots of changes happening. Definitely those of you probably in your own lives you've been experiencing it, and I had some very interesting conversations last night with some soul friends, and it was, yes, I'm pretty sure it did still. I'll have a check in a minute, sweet, and make sure that everything's gone through, update any of the super chats. I do have the list. I will put it on the bottom soon. And before we get through the blah, blah, I'll double check that everyone's got their super chats in, and then we'll proceed forward. So the format that Yildiz Readings 5D has taken over the years has really evolved. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology, soul coaching, twin flame path. And there was a lot of promises really about new content. And, you know, it really does link to the transits. Yeah, it was like I dyed my hair. I really crammed yesterday. I don't know what Venus was doing, but I had a Christmas party to go to. Hadn't been well, and a lot of my members had been experiencing ascension symptoms, feeling off, nauseated, fatigued, irritable. I'm very part of the transits, but always don't outrule just being run down. And I'm a tad allergic to rosemary, and I went and pulled some out, so it's given me a little bit of asthma today. So I had to really wash that oil off my hands so that I wasn't getting extra hay fever. But I love the garden. So yeah, I was really cramming yesterday. But as to the content, let's talk about the content. So for those of you who've been traveling with me for the last 7 years, landed on YouTube many moons ago, and a lot of the content initially was to do with the zodiac signs. And then as my skills have developed over the years, my expertise in particular areas have expanded. Thanks, sweet. I'll add you to the list in a tick. We also then had transits, and from, I would say, about 2017, 18, especially those that were in the path and twin flame path, you guys have been going through a lot of changes. And, you know, we then had 2020, big changes again, the way we run our businesses, the way we do things. And a lot of people really were going through transitions and relationships and careers. And at the moment, we can have a lot of connections really transforming. We do have Mars retrograde, so our connections can be transforming. Yes, the blast from the past, how we, where our ego is, where our identity is. This can feel a little bit like an identity crisis. So you can be feeling very firm about what you want to achieve. Moving into 2025, we can find that the first half of the year does feel similar to this, only because by the time we reach mid-year, a lot of planets are ingressing into different placements that is going to bring on a significant shift in the chapters of our life. So how we directly feel things are right now are going to be extremely different come mid-year. However, we still will be, hi Ben, we still will be having a lot of, what could I say, reassessment of our values, reassessment of our passions, because Mars is going to be retrograde. It will ingress into Cancer again next year, which can be a tad bit tedious, but at the moment we have a lot to do with, you know, our male children maybe acting out, or it can be our masculine energy within our identity. It's the sun energy, so it's like, where do I go first? What do I do first? Am I going in the right direction? And Mars is one of those energies that, as it comes up in a signature piece, it draws our attention and our passion in a particular area. But when it's retrograde, it's really hovering over it like an alien spacecraft for a longer space of time. And it's in retrograde. So you're like, do I? Don't I? Irritability. Are we? Aren't we? It can relate to money. in a way because it's Mars energy. But again, your passion could be super acutely focused in a particular area, but the attitude towards it could change as it goes direct. Now, we did just have Mercury station direct. In stations, it's funny, I was at a Christmas party during a station. I'm like, okay, is any little is the sky going to fall down? And so it's better not to address anything Mercury related. It's like, things are up in the clouds, things that, give it a good 3 days. It's still stationing direct, it's still moving direct, but you can find, okay, it's time to deal, it's time to tweak things, it's time to change things. You can be reviewing these contracts. And I tend to dislike the very beginning of Mercury retrograde and the very end of it. It was also amplified because Jupiter at the moment is retrograde in the house of Gemini, which is Mercury in nature. So we could be at times biting off more than we can chew, and then other times we can be like, oh my God, I'm having to deal with multiple tasks here. How do you really manage that? So, especially coming up to Christmas and New Year's, it is a time which I should turn that music off and leave this be. You probably like just to turn that off. It is a time where you want to kind of reduce the threshold of what you're doing. Okay, so it's tidying up the loose ends, getting the old stuff done, maybe assessing plans and doing them in the background, but not necessarily launching till we move into 2025, where Mars will be direct, where we will have the energy to deal with things. I have to ask you how you've been traveling, Ben, anyway, with all your podcast and the work, especially as a native Aries. You could be having a lot of personal changes that you're going through as well. Now I'll log in and I'll quickly check all the super chats to make sure they're all here. Providing technology will still work with us. How many of us have been having issues with technology? Oh, now it's asking me a survey. Please go away. Okay, so we've got Stella. So I'll add Stella and I will add True Heart. And I'll have to find, okay. I will add that, edit. And then we can have True Heart. So, what's been happening with everyone? Have you felt super emotional? Have you been very reflective? Have you been feeling with your most intimate connections? It could be a friendship group. It might be your social aspirations. It could be your direct career. All of you collectively are going to be having something spiritual changing. We also do, because Pluto has exited Pluto in Capricorn has now transitioned into Aquarius. We still can have those lingering energies. So, the 29-degree point, especially if you do look to your birth chart, wherever Aquarius is, for instance, you want to know that degree point. And then you can actually forward track to see when the most significant energy is going to be happening for you. But it's going to be a gradual transition as it goes through. But mid-year can be quite transformative, let's put it that way. The Wi-Fi network for the whole country went out. Yeah, look, and the other thing is because we do have Uranus and Taurus at the moment in its retrograde. Pluto in Aquarius also is a very Uranian energy. And then you add Mercury into the mix. So definitely we're getting that shadow energy because it is going direct come January. We can have the electricity, the intranet, really going through some transitions. It could be earthquakes, wind patterns, weather patterns. I did predict really that we will get both wind and, sort of like there can be floods with the North Node moving into Pisces. There also can be just point blank zero because it'll be the North Node. A lot of subjects to do with Pisces matters. That can be water. How do we kind of clean water? Mosquitoes, lots of things to do with insects and bugs. There could be an extremity with them. I've noticed a lot of black beetles in my garden at the moment. And, we then after Mars retrograde are going to have a Venus retrograde. So fires, because it is in a fire sign. So fires and floods, passion and emotion, because it's kind of fire and air, so to speak. So fire and air, fire and water. I'm tired of the bugs. I mean, I've still been doing, since Pluto was ending its cycle in Capricorn, pardon me, I have been doing so much cleaning. And I think, again, because it's ending a cycle from 2008 and even beyond, you can almost feel, for many of you, that you're having an existential crisis and nothing's resonating with you anymore. It could be, again, like I said, your image, your identity, your career, the people around you, things happening on your home front. Maybe you're moving home, because the axis, the shadow sign, is home. As Mars ingresses back into Cancer, America will be lit up like a Christmas tree in the chart, because you guys do have Cancer in your birth chart in your country. And again, each state, each area will have its own birth chart. But in the overall context, you will have that coming up quite a bit. Perth, Western Australia, we actually have Pisces in our chart. It's our birth chart in Australia is very different to the one in Perth. So you get the collective energy, and then you get the individual, and then you can look at your birth chart. So yes, does it affect where you're living? 100%. So if you're looking to say, hey, what is going to be happening in my life? You can first look at your birth chart, and secondary, look at the location in the birth chart of how that environment can directly be impacting you with some of those things moving forward. You cleaned your closet out, getting rid of things. It makes sense, love. Because number one, you are a Leo, right? And as a Leo, Mars is in your zodiac sign. So your vitality, your energy, your status, things to do with confidence can come up, because it's the first house placement. So when it's entering into our zodiac signs, it's going to take on two signatures. Number one, it's really going to matter about what house it's in. And when it's in your first house, it can be to do with you. Is that cool? Yeah, I gather. But definitely I've been doing it for a while, so I try and make sure I look at both, especially from a predictive astrological point of view, to make sure you actually grasp the fact that your physical environment does directly impact. It's a little bit like your house number in numerology. What vibration does that bring? And I've done that for many years, and actually seeing how that vibration directly impacts the whole vibration of the household, and what that attitude and demeanor can have, and how you can actually use feng shui to change it to bring a better vibe through. But we will go into that next year. There's going to be, as I was saying, next year there is going to be more content coming to the public. It has been difficult for me to do such. I had been going through a transition from 2020. Probably even before that, I was going through a lot of transformations. And I think Uranus and Taurus was actually causing us to have to make drastic decisions. Now it's about finding, all of us collectively, what is going to be that healthy balance of us now making, now getting our footings and going, okay, how do we gradually and Saturn responsibly move the dream forward in a more structured, formatted, gradual manner, so that we can get the best out of it. I think you can figure out where in the world you could attract many more careers. I think yes and no. I think it's about, if you understand the transits and you understand that, hey, for instance, we're going to have a lot to do with IT, then, how can you use what you currently have right now wherever you are? Because that's what's really changing. It won't matter where you are, you can work. We did have this very fixed belief prior to 2020, is that it was a pray repeat situation. We'd go to work, we'd do the 9 to 5. You can have, evolution has changed. We need to keep up with it. We need to keep up with the transition of it. And it may be, if you're doing something in a more structured way, you have more time to yourself, or you put the dedication in, and then You could go into retirement and it could make money for you. So every person is going to be going through their own personal transition. But again, it's going to affect everyone because it's Pluto in Aquarius. But we're going to get into the super chats. Who do we have in the house? Do we have Marie? Is Marie in the house? Or, am I just going to pull the card? So off to the corner, I literally tested this. We have the new platform that is going to be launched next year. And I do have a blog on the website. If you want to jump on the blog, hi, sweet, what you can do is find out how to get on that list. So it is going to be a brand new membership site. What it is going to hold is education, okay? Initially, what it's going to hold, the blog post will give you a PDF. You can find it on my website. My website is directly below, and that is the banner. So it's going to be all housed under one roof. The reason I've chosen to do it in that way is because the chat, the notifications, any events I'm hosting, you could look at the calendar, you can click on it, it will give you a notification to join those events. And there's cohort courses, okay? So that's the first level. The extended version of any information video I'm going to be putting here on YouTube. If you look at it and you feel, hey, I want to dive deeper into this, that's where the extended versions of the courses will be. That will be at the second tier level that will be released at some point in time, but that's where I'm going to be housing those, okay? So what can some of the group sessions be? We're also doing co-host, which I'm inviting individuals to become a co-host. I already have one individual that has had an expression of interest. We've had a chat. We need to go down the rabbit hole of the details. But if you have a particular expertise in an area, it could be Reiki, it might be whatever, okay? PM us and we will take a look. We'll organise a chat. It can be through Skype or Messenger or telephone, and we can look at the details and we can see if you're a good fit for the network. So we'll be having coaches, therapists, meditation, but those are kind of the energies I'm trying to bring on board. And it gives you an opportunity to actually advertise your services should you have a website, but you can bring something to it, connect in with the group. And then if that's some experience for you, you can actually create the word. Okay, so let's pin your comment, my sweet. We better get into the super chats. We'll be here forever. Here we are. Hi, beautiful. Any messages from guides? That's fine. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're like, is anything going to get better? You're like, look, hit me with it. Is anything going to get better? Is it? It's like you're, could I say optimistic? Detached. I'd say detached. There's an energy of detachment. There's an energy of sort of like, okay, do we go into this 2025, kind of open-minded? Do we worry about it? You kind of like, it's like a hangover. It's like you're looking at life going, oh, God, do I dare ask? It's funny. Where do you have Virgo on your chart? They just went, Virgo. Where do you have Virgo on your chart? Because that'll be the South Node energy. It'll be the biggest area of your life that will actually experience change. And it also can be somewhere that you may need to get out of your head about it. Venus, oh, heck a girl. Wow, your love life's set to be very different. If you had been for many moons, it's a beautiful place for it to be for you. A is because it will heal your Venusian energy. The way you look, the way you are, how you generate an income, the love you attract in. If you will have a different bird's eye view of it over the next 2 years. And you probably felt that around September. You were like, hell no. Some things have to change because there's a first and a seventh house. So it's you versus other people. You will find you're very selective of how you give your Venusian energy. You will also have deep revelations about, and this was a hard one for me to actually deal with, but it was both a bit of pill to swallow when I had a transit similar to what you're about to go through. But it also was highly educational, where it taught me a lot about myself and my conditioning and how I went into relationships and what I believed I had to do. What part was my shit? What part was the other person's? And where, because of those belief systems, I was navigating the relationship sector in a very conditioned way, if that makes sense. And so I evolved through that, and my approach changed, and it did aid me in actually looking at, okay, well, that's my behavior pattern in that area, point taken, because Virgo is, you guys in that department of love, you're perfectionists. You're like, okay, what do I need to do? It's almost like you will give that love area of your life a friggin' lobotomy. Okay, you'll be like, I will make you have everything you need, but I need to know what you are bringing to the table. Sometimes it can be a bit detached and people can misunderstand it, but in a technique form, I mean, we went down the rabbit hole years ago. I think we were having an absolute laugh about it. You guys make the most wonderful lovers. Excuse my French, because you're perfectionists. You're absolutely perfectionists with it. So don't think that you won't attract good things, but you're definitely going to find as you're moving through. Don't get too stuck in your head. Don't be too critical on yourself. Allow the person to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Moving forward into 2025. Allow yourself to get to a space that you are open-minded. Now, it can take you out of your comfort zone, but this can be making you, like I said, it's like a hangover. You're like, oh, good grief, we've just gone through what we've been through with Pluto and Capricorn, and now spiritually we're going into something, and I really don't know what I'm going into. Can this bring people back from the past? Yes. Can this be an opportunity to do it differently? 100%. Wherever you are, be it it's a physical contract, it's your money situation, it's your body and image, your nutrition, your wellness, doing things differently. It's going to bring all of that through. And you've got 18 months to do it, so there's no rush. You are going to be able to make significant changes in this area. Saturn initially is going to give you some help. Neptune is going to bring those dreams to come true, but it's also going to be about what is right for you now. And if you don't have the answers right now, just be okay with that. So if you are moving from here into, through Christmas into New Year's Eve, try to, instead of getting in the lower vibration, go, okay, no, let's just be in this moment. And as we're moving into 2025, let's be open, and I can't say excited, but you shouldn't not be excited. Open about what the experience is going to be and what it's going to bring to you. You are leaving something to the past, and it's like you're trying to change your vibration. It's like you're, especially if there's somebody at the moment that you're needing to talk to and you don't really know how to go about this. That could be a major talk, a major conversation that you want to have. What you're going to find is you might be pausing at the moment and not saying anything, trying to hold your cool, and being very neutral. And you can find that you're looking at it almost like, well, am I being this way at the moment because I'm just not motivated? Or am I just being this way because I feel things go on deaf ears? So you're in two minds about some things and attitudes and feelings. Maybe something has transpired that you're moving away from that you weren't quite prepared for, but they're saying you're actually, universe is taking you to this brand new chapter. Mars is causing a little bit of issues for you at the minute, but you do have the strength and you do have the wisdom, and there's a lot of you that has changed. So it is taking you to this brand new chapter in your life that is very positive. You've got the strength card inside your heart space. So there could be a lot of heart chakra activation. This could be very, all of a sudden, very nostalgic, empathetic and understanding, and then very closed off, like you want to protect it. You could actually use a gemstone at the moment that could link to a higher heart chakra and the Chiron energy, especially because the South Node's going into Venus. It's going to help you come to terms with a lot of the past, and it's going to help you be open again for love, open for even if it's someone was in a relationship and they're having that, it's just you're going to change. You are going to change point blank zero. But there is a very strong energy and there is a lot of heart chakra that you're going through at this point in time. Very reflective. You have a lot of ancestors around you at the moment, even though you might want to be in a bit of hermit mode, because that's how it's spiritually coming through to me. The desire to have some quiet, some nurture, which sometimes can be very therapeutic for the soul. There is going to be some major movement that you're going to be making. And where there is any conflict, especially over the next few weeks, it's about looking at the fine print. It's about looking at the devil in the detail. But there is sort of like a shake-up in your life, even though it could just be that's what you're thinking right now. It's like, almost like those New Year's resolutions. And I say a lot of us were making these around September. We were not making these just in the here and now, moving into the end of the year. These signatures were coming up in September, October. So think back to what you were doing in September and October. They're coming back up again, and we're looking at things in a more practical way, like, okay, it's time for me to actually get things done. Unfortunately, there could be a slight delay because we do have Mars retrograde, right? Nothing bad here. Big changes. Your energy is like, look, I'm quite, I'm up in my head at the moment. Could I possibly be self-sabotaging? You're second guessing yourself, but it's funny. The way it's coming through to me is you have your shit together. Okay. So even if you could be really critiquing yourself, just your new attitude that's coming through is because you have evolved, love. And so it's most people that have evolved will go down that rabbit hole of saying, am I the problem here? Do I have a problem in some shape or form? But the funny thing is, no, because you wouldn't be asking that if you were, because you have that self-awareness and you're navigating it in a very, I would say, a professional way. I hope it lands. There could be some situations that you're needing to tackle that could be a little bit tedious, but they're saying you have the skill to do it. So trust your instincts. And if you need to address anything, which can be like a little bit of the devil in the detail, it could be a contract of some description or some movement that you're needing to take in a very bold way. It is saying that it's going to occur for you. Things are going to go in your favor, but definitely, try to not go around in circles and try to not get stuck too much in the analytics, because there can be, what would the word be? Analysis paralysis. Okay. I hope that helps. Have a good Christmas or New Year, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, It's time for us to really treat ourselves and to rest up and to do things that are going to feel very nurturing, very restful. And we're also just wanting to play at this point in time, so it can be being a little bit more playful. Okay, we have Giggle. How you doing, Giggle? Have you got your cuppa? I hope so, love. I hope that helps. Get excited. There will be, it's almost like you're going to put yourself back on the pedestal, but in a healthy way, not in a narcissistic way, if that makes sense. It can come through the transits that way. At times, it's like, no, what about me? And that's okay, but it will shift back where it can get to a place where you're very, glad to see you got your coffee. Hi, Shasta. How are you? Let's see for Giggle. So good luck, Marie. I hope it works well for you. And, get ready for a very exciting new year. Hopefully next year, another thing I'm going to be wanting to add back is the transits and how it affects your star sign. So it could be a full moon, a new moon. I mean, we're having 3 this month. We just had the full moon in Gemini. So believe me, technology, Mercury, revelations. This should be interesting. Okay, let's see what's coming through for you. I noticed Kim Kardashian broke her ankle. And it's interesting. A lot of people don't know that she's got a lot of Pisces in her chart, and Saturn's been there, which relates to bones and teeth and structures. So, yeah, she had a shoulder injury as well, I believe. Happy New Year, sweet. Hope to see you next year with all the new content, hopefully to give you a bit of guidance through that process. You got jumpers, giggle. You got two situations here. Maybe it's because you're in two minds. Maybe it's because you're actually thinking there's two ways this can go. Two situations that could be playing out. Oh, wow. Okay, you're like, hella no. You got Tweedledum and Tweedledee on the shoulder here. You know, the little devil and the angel. It's like they're having conversations with you, but it could be doing that kind of Libra axis. You're trying to look at something from a very balanced standpoint. You know, in one way, you're sort of like, you could have sympathy, you could have understanding. This could be a person that you're directly dealing with, that you're wondering if they've come to their senses and woken the hell up. But it also could be like the empathy and the understanding. Look, this person could be going through X, Y, and Z. And on the other hand, you're like, I'm trying to be rational here. I'm trying to make healthy choices for myself. So it's like you're in this indecision frequency about what to do, about how to deal with things. But you also could be observing this within their energy. And, you know, 1 minute it's like, okay, is this person very hot and very cold? Are they coming through? Again, I do feel communication coming in. I also feel that you're going to have some clarity. It's almost like this person's going to be a bit more open with what they're wanting to say to you. And again, unfortunately, when we do get a bit more communication, we give it a bloody lobotomy where we should be in the grace of receiving. We can go into analysis paralysis, okay? So they're showing me that. They're showing me that there appears to be some information coming in. If it hasn't come in yet, it's on its way. But this is going to make you feel more confident. It's going to make you feel that you have some more information to deal with. But then it's going to ask you to really look at things. And it's weird. It's almost like you're still going to want more information before you decide, okay? You're like, no, it's yet to be decided. But there's definitely, it's like you're not budging. You're like, no, I need more information. It's almost like more questions than answers, even though it was the answer. But that can be that you're needing to give it some time. Maybe not going into a pattern of doing things the way you used to, but actually just, you know, not saying anything, pausing, just allowing something to play out, because there is a shift here. You feel that rapidly moving into 2025 that your whole life is changing. So there's a bit of a ticker on the time clock at the moment. It's like, although you can be looking at this, you almost intuitively know that something is really changing. So wait and don't. Yeah, I would say. Like, it's weird because it's like part of your story is actually with this person, but you also have this very significant feeling that something really major is changing in your life next year. And it's almost like getting on a ride and they're dropping you. That's how it's feeling. It's like getting on this ride. It's like, oh, shit, there's no turning back now. It's taking me. You know, that's how it's feeling. And there's a lot of areas in your life come 2025 and beyond that are going to look so drastically different to what they currently are. And you're actually wondering, are you going to get on the ride? But it's like you're being pulled in two timeline warps. And it's making you feel very anxious. They're saying trust the process because they do have a method to the madness here. So it's not that those things aren't happening or those things are actually going to block your destiny with this person. They're actually part of it. So they're saying don't stress too much about that. Yeah, it's, you know, you're like, I was single and now I'm not. I was single and now I'm not. You know, you're like, what's the hold up? Like, is this person, isn't, you know, it's really confusing. Again, they're showing that you're going to have some clarity. There is going to be some clarity about the direction. Again, for most of us, especially because we do have Mars in the sun position, we all think we're going somewhere and we're definitely very passionate. But at the same time, it's in retrograde. So the trajectory, what would the word be? You know, it's a bit like your boarding pass onto a plane. You've got the itinerary and you're like, all right, I'm going to, I'm going to go to Amsterdam. I'm going to be doing this and that. And they're like, oh, yeah, changing your mind. So the sun of where you're going, initially you're going to be going down memory lane because it's the sun, right? It's Mars. But I don't want to go back there. So you can be having flashbacks, nightmares, memories. Don't eat chocolate before bed. I did that last night. Bad move. Bloody nightmares. This energy of this individual, their life direction is changing too. You're both doing this simultaneously. This does not look bad. They're saying be open-minded, pause, enjoy from here to the end of the year. And the more open and detached you can be, it's like this person's turning up and you're both in that same headspace. I actually feel this person's thinking about you quite a bit, and I find them to be very sure about you, very comfortable and sure about their feelings towards you. I don't get a bad vibe at all, okay? But yes, several areas of your life definitely radically changing next year. And that's both because you are desiring it and just because it's going to be. Who do we have next? Merry Christmas, you all, and I hope you're going to be very, very safe. Stay tuned for all the new content coming. I keep saying it, I need to rework some things inside the streaming deck and start recording them, and when that date's going to be, because we do have Mars retrograde. I'm trying to clear the deck of 2024, early 2025 content. Then as all the directs go, that's when more than likely all this new stuff will come. I'll attempt to do it for January, but if it's not January, it'll start in February, the new content, okay? But you'll still get all your twin flame content. I may chime in and start doing some lives and some moon updates by zodiac sign as an initiation to the new content. I hope that helps. So we have Cosmic Journey. Most welcome, Giggle. Merry Christmas, right? How's the Christmas preps coming? Is everyone ready? Those of you that celebrate, I'm not presuming every person on the planet celebrates Christmas. That would be naive for me. But those of you that are celebrating, have you done your shopping? Are you creating? This would probably be the time. Yeah, and I did say before Mercury went retrograde, I warned a lot of my clients via the membership, get your Christmas presents before September. Get everything done if you can. Why? Because we were going to have Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, issues with import, export, and some delays. And they always say, don't buy electrics or anything like that during a Mercury. Sometimes Mercury ushers you to buy electronics, like a new washing machine, especially in a Pluto transit, or a new, could be, oh God, my car's broken. That's because it was aspected in your chart. So it was going to happen anyway. And it was time. It was almost like the universe going, you need to put this shit in the trash. You need to put it in the trash. It's not working. So let's see Cosmic Journey. Are we still transitioning? Can everyone still see the stream okay? Anything's possible. Oh, girl. Talk about a level up. This level up for you, Cosmic Journey, is pretty big. Old things deep cleaned. Oh, yeah, girl. I have literally been... Oh, you put the tree up about bloody time, Giggle. We were talking about that. We were literally... How many of you, the older you get, you're like, oh, don't need the Christmas tree up? Twin said to me, he goes, oh, God, that thing's out again. Yeah, he is very Christmas nostalgic. We will watch Christmas movies together, which I never thought that was ever going to happen in my twin flame path, but he actually watches Christmas movies with me. So, So the Christmas tree for me is about bringing it's bringing light, it's bringing cheer. It could just be cleaning the house. I have learned over the years there's certain decorative items I just won't do. Because if I have to keep getting that hoover out, no, we're just going to hoover it all up, and it's not. I want something that's a bit more eco, a bit more. It's going to last. I'll have to put a picture up of my tree. It's got glass. Oh, would it be resin reindeer? Maybe. They look glass, ornamental reindeers, white and almost like glass looking. And then I've got some trinkets on there that are more buying one for the grandkid and my daughter. She's got her first kind of bonbon that's on the tree, and I've had that since she was a baby, so I put that up every year. Tree up, no balls. Is Giggle, be careful what you ask for. All I want for Christmas. Okay, Cosmic Journey, you're coming through like a Nicki Minaj, okay? In the good way. I mean, when I used to resonate with it more so, or when the person was more, look, love yourself, respect yourself. Yes, be ascended, just don't be icky, right? And you're coming through as the Queen of Swords, so you're able to care for yourself. Yeah, you're leveling up. You're leveling up in a major, major way. You're also, you've had to be this way for so long. You can feel, and you may feel, be careful what you ask for. You didn't put them on the tree, so they're like, you need them. So you can feel almost like, and people around you are going to feel, Cosmic Journey, almost like, oh my God, she's leaving me behind. They may look at you as being selfish, and you won't know this till later on down the track. Now, it's weird because this is coming through in your channeled messages, but it also does link to your astrology, is the Pisces Virgo axis. It's going to be all about you actually having these revelations, and it's something spiritually you're moving into naturally because of the points in astrology, and part of your soul journey, right, is all of a sudden you could be like, oh my gosh, I've dropped the ball. I have been allowing situations in my life to fall down, and suddenly I'm leveling up, and everyone's like trying to pull me back to the same old. And you will find almost like you're allergic to that. You'll find that you're just, you're going, no, man, like my roof is falling down. I need to fix it. Oh, wow, I've got to do this over here. And so there's things that are going to start taking your preoccupation, things of destiny, dreams, and it's almost like it feels extremely spiritually urgent for you. It's very natural for you to have these things coming through. You could second guess yourself, and it's part of the process, because when we haven't actually prioritized ourselves and we've put ourselves on the back burner, it's very natural for us to second guess ourselves and go back to old patterns, even though spiritually it's a little bit like a soul walk, and it's like you've changed and you're like, I can't do that anymore. But we go back to it to just check, have I been X, Y, and Z, or, should I just go back in my lane? And that's with the Eight of Swords. And it's like, it's okay. Yes, you can go back and check if you like, but you also see the reality in the writing on the wall of your life, and you're like, I can't do that. I can't keep going back to doing that. It's giving me the same result. So there is this bold action moving forward and doing things a different way. Even if you second guess, if you do second guess and you want to go back to an old situation, it is about doing it differently. Hi, sweet. Merry Christmas, Chris. Yeah, you're being cautious. But I feel, and I want to pull a romance card for you, because they're almost like, even though all your energy is very focused, future tense, forward, trying to be in detachment, having love. So love is coming in. Love's coming in very boldly. It's like, oi, what about me? Where are you going? Houston, we got a problem. And you're like, yeah, but I've got to go over here and do this. This person's chasing you. This person, because of this, is actually realizing there's so much changing in your life. Your time is not going to be as fluid as they used to have it. And it's going to bring them in a lot quicker. There could be a lot of projection that people are placing on you. These are loved ones. But, don't stress because they're actually being inspired by you. Even though initially it could come through like they're triggered and you could second guess yourself and get up in your head with their behavioural patterns. And this is not just romance. This is people that care for you as well. Don't stress. It's changing. You're becoming their teacher inadvertently, not even knowing it. Okay, they're making a reference point to a big question. And this question could be, when am I going to have peace? When are things going to be in harmony? When is this going to be peaceful? I saw the peace card. I saw the white dove, and I feel this has something to do with point blank everything. It's like, God, everything comes at me. They're saying it is because you choose. And what do I mean by that? It's like, when you have faith in something, it naturally comes towards you. Have you ever noticed when you're panicking, everything shit that can possibly happen literally happens? And, I always have to, I'm like my own coach at times where I'll chime into myself and go, don't you dare start doing that. What are you doing? You know the laws of attraction, and it's natural. It's like if you stub your toe, and you're like, heck, no one touched that toe, and you hit it again and again and again. It's a magnet. So wherever our attention goes, the energy flows. You could be thinking of a song, and then bang, a song comes on the radio. We're always timeline jumping. We're always in that energy. They're saying your vibration, look inside yourself. It's okay for you to do things, to have it all. You literally can have it all, right? Examine what is causing you to feel this way. And I think it's conditioning, right? Don't freak out. You're second guessing yourself. You're on the right path. People could be testing you, but this is who the new you is. Just honor who the new you is, because the people who truly deserve you are going to be there for you, including your love. Yeah, there is going to be some happiness between you, and it will bring a lightness to the intimate connection, and the lightness to the intimate connection is going to bring the attraction in. So they're saying you're on the right path at the moment. Don't second guess yourself. Be excited. There's a lot of exciting chapters coming your way that are really going to open up new doors for you moving from here into 2025. You could be a little bit guarded. You may have a lot more to do in a small space of time, but just be really selective about what you are giving to people and what you are doing at this point in time, because you don't want to wear yourself out. But I think you're going to handle it fine, and it does look to be quite positive moving ahead. We have Dawn. Now, Dawn didn't know if she was going to be able to make it, so I'll wait and see if she is here. Warm welcome. How are you doing, Chris? Have you been taking care of yourself, love? I have to PM Ben as well. Long time no chat, Ben. We'll have to catch up for a chat. Oh, you are here. Hi, sweet. How did you enjoy the moon? What date did it land? It was hitting your zodiac sign. I was like, ugh. It's my natal Jupiter. I was like, oh, hell no. Which, again, Mercury retrograde for me has always been the busiest. So, for you, probably it's the same thing. Trying to stay awake. I'm not surprised, Dawn. Okay, let's see what's coming through for you. So it's a full moon, it's an ending, it's a new beginning. I always call it the Empress close when it's in your first house placement, because it's as within, as without. It's an emotion. It could be home and family. It could be your physical environment. You are changing, even though everything around you, both inside and outside, is changing. So initially when we're triggered, we can find this, especially with a lot of the people that I coach that are Leos, for instance, during eclipse, I'll always say, just don't make any radical changes. Mars at the moment in their zodiac sign, you can change the outside, but it's also something internally going on. And it's the same for that full moon, because we've got Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. you will want to change physically, but something inside of you is changing too. So it's as within, as without. It's a two-sided transaction. It's just not a surface value thing. But again, it's moon, it's home. So the intimate connections with maybe something to do with your children. It could be your physical home environment. Oh my God, I need to get this together. It's not resonating with me. The color of the walls, the garden, it could be the home and where I am and I need to move. I'll have to check Google. I will be doing all the moon eclipses. The first eclipse, I don't think it's happening straight away. We have it in March in Virgo. Okay, total lunar eclipse. And it's going to be at 23 degrees, March 14th, 2025. So that's the first one. None in January. Okay, let's see what's happening for your cards, Dawn, before you fall asleep. But yeah, interesting. Two of Cups. I got options, baby. Even though you're probably not feeling that right now. You're like, options? You know, when we're mad, don't get mad, get everything. You know, we can do some real weird things. We can be like, I deserve better, to, oh, what about me? Yeah, no eclipses, just directs. Retrogrades and directs. We have enough going on in January, okay? There's enough. It will feel like an eclipse. It's enough. Okay, Dawn. So you have love on your mind, okay? You have, you do have options. It's quite funny. A lot of times when we emotionally are, it could be going through a twin flame path, going through a healing paradigm, going through a review of our life and where we're going, when we are getting to know the new version of ourselves, which sometimes it can come through like we're having an existential crisis, we are always given an opportunity to tune in and go, okay, where are my opportunities at? Am I open to love? Do I feel healed enough to trust a person to come into my life? Because we do, the more pain we've had in a relationship, the more we realize there is a risk that can happen again. But with the risk comes all of it, right? There's the butterflies, there's the excitement, the journey, the potential, the ability to grow with another human being. You also could be reflective of love, of the past, what it was, where it is. But the good thing about a retrograde planet is it helps us do that. The good thing about a direct planet is it helps us see where we need to change to get a different outcome. Now, what could that mean? It could mean our approach. It could mean our openness. It could mean assessing who the new you is and what that means in the context of your circle environment, and then what approach to take moving forward. It's a little bit like hosting a party. When we're moving in retrogrades and directs, we're preparing to host a party to open up to the opportunities, almost like a PDF of how do we approach this. So we're going to look at who we are now, and we'll look at the direct situation and what approach, given that direct situation, we can take to get the best out of it. So if that would mean we were looking at, and I'll give you an example, a twin in a path that maybe is in a karmic cycle. If we are then assessing in the retrogrades and the directs, we would look at, okay, I'm aware of what is happening on their side of the fence to the best of my ability, right? Let's assess a painting. And for some of you, it could be that you just don't know what this person's doing. Now, what is my commitment level to this, to myself, to my own personal needs? I've sat in and I've dived into who I was before versus who I am today. And what am I willing to do? What am I not doing? And what am I willing to do? And then you can set your course moving forward. But it's not this pendulum left and right. It's very direct. It's very, okay, I know I am consciously committing to doing X, Y, and Z. And then we're taking accountability for that. So there's something to do with love at the moment. You're in two minds about it. You're sort of like, God, do I, don't I? How do I look at this? The way I'm going, it's just causing a lot of pain. The one that got away, this person gets more than me. This person used to be very, what you're wanting, what you think you're wanting is a friendship. All right, but that is not what you're wanting. You are wanting more. And so this can at times send mixed signals, regardless of the situation this person's in. Now, this could be referencing two people here. This could be referencing a person who is a friend that could turn into a lover, or a twin flame, okay? But they're definitely showing to me two people here. They're showing to me two options, two roads, and trying to look at it differently. Your heart is going to tell you the truth, but it is away from the ego. It's not, this is what's healthy for me, because that's not the heart space. That's just a rational way to protect ourselves, right? It's like touching a stove and it's hot. Well, God, I better not touch the stove then. No, get a glove and then we can touch the stove. So the heart, though, is going to tell you the truth of the matter, even if the situation looks diabolical. Does that make sense? And you're going into your heart space, well, this is how I feel, and it doesn't matter if anyone agrees or disagrees. This is just how I feel. So you need to go into the heart space, but there is a big question mark to do with a person, and I feel it's two people. I would say you do wish your twin could go back to being friendly, but you don't need friends. You have friends. So it's about admitting that you actually want more than what is on offer, and what you would need to get from point A to point B. But there is also a friend in the mix that could turn into a romantic partner. And so it could be that you're assessing left and right here. Oh, okay. Yeah. And so that's the thing at the moment. It's because there's personal things changing with you. But it's funny because love is here, but then it's making you question, I was feeling all funky about these things. Sometimes you need to give yourself space. The energy of Gemini is very, it's funny because it likes to be in a relationship, but it likes independence. And unless you are in those connections that allow you to be that, you will feel stifled. Even if you're out of one at the moment and you're like, get nostalgic, it's like, I really want to be back in a relationship. Sometimes individuals can, the person you attract needs to have that understanding of you, right? Of being, look, I'm playful, I'm happy, I like to be with people, I like to socialize. You are going through a transformation. So there's a bit of isolation that you're moving into at the moment. They're asking you to look at the devil in the detail. Okay. This could be you confronting some truths, some realities. But I think the intuition, they're saying, what's your intuition during this moment? It's showing you the truth of something. And then you're going to be able to persevere forward in the next week to do with a belief system that you have, but it's definitely going to change within the week. Okay? But you do have these big question marks at the moment. And it's funny, the resume at the moment and your crowning energy is the Two of Cups. So it is to do with relationships and connections. I'm getting good and really positive about love. I would try to not attach who it's to. I would more be in the vibration of it and just go, this is how it should feel. And it's just going to naturally happen. And then if you take the pressure off yourself, like you're going into it like a job, it's just naturally going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is a signature I'm putting out to universe. If it's meant to be, it will be. Rejection is the universe's protection, and just flow. And like the laws of attraction, it's going to come towards you. Okay. But yes, lots of opportunities. Tracy. That's good. Okay, what do we have for you, Tracy? Girl, what is going on? Hi, Tracy. Most welcome, Dawn. Okay, what the heck is happening with you? Okay, you got the world here. What is going on with you? You're on a bit of a rotational cycle here. It's weird. I don't know why I'm getting the term balance and dizziness. Have you been experiencing dizziness? There's a big change. You got a hella big change coming. It can be that a karmic cycle is wrapping up, but it's like, I don't know, you're tuning into something, something's making you dizzy. Yep, cracked neck. You may need to do some breathing exercises, okay? Because this could be anxiousness, this could be some nervousness that comes in, feeling fatigued, feeling dizzy. I get that there's a big change coming, okay? Pay attention to it as you proceed forward, because I feel it could be something that you experience in the next few days. Something's changing rapidly, but I feel you're tuning into it, but I don't feel you're getting that you're tuning into it. I feel you're gaining balance in these changes. Is this to do with another person? This could be you saying up in the air that this person is going to experience a karmic close. And how do I explain it? It's almost like when you see a person, especially with our children, it's like, you shouldn't do that, you're going to hurt yourself. That's kind of how I see you tuning into this individual. I think it's a romantic partner. I think this is almost like the notion that you're like, don't do that, you're getting too close to the edge, you're going to fall. And it's like this warning system, it's like this viewpoint that you're projecting out into the future, and you're seeing how something's going to play out, and you're kind of like, you know, you need to be careful because this situation's messy. I don't think it's you needing to be careful. I think it's you intuitively feeling this person is heading for a change in their life. Even if they do or don't want it yet, it's about to come. And they're going to have to address it in some shape or form. They send mixed signals. Sometimes they're extremely jealous. They get these jealous feelings towards you. If there was a text message, or this could be a text message and email sent, they're reading back over it. They do take things that you say to heart, but in a positive way. And there is a lot of chemistry between the both of you. It's like a review of a contract. This person can be reviewing a contract of the heart. But, you know, the connection is coming up as a 10 of Cups. This could be a very positive connection. Something to do with their accommodation is going to be shifting. This could be like the selling of a house or something like that, but it feels their plan for their life and their future is shifting about. They're unsure whether they want me to jump back to you again. Or I'll finish this story and then we'll come back to you, because they're jumping around. Your guides are jumping around at the moment with storylines. I would say, to do with this relationship, this person does have some things that do look a bit technical to deal with, okay? But there is some technical element to their life and wrapping a karmic situation up that they had not addressed, and they're addressing at this point in time. I don't know why I see the energy of a child. This could be one child for this person. It could be on your side of the fence or theirs, but there appears to be a child in the mix of this situation. There's some question mark over that. But again, there is a very strong connection to you and the bond. It's not like they know that with you, they could have a lot of chemistry and a very stable connection, very traditional. I don't know why, but they're showing me your house, and it's like they may have actually walked past your house. I don't know if they're aware of where your house is, but this is nighttime, and it does appear to be that they're actually walking past. It's nighttime. There is a light out on the main street. This is quite an attractive street that they're showing me. And they're admiring your home, but they're actually thinking about you. There are some sacrifices that they know they're going to need to make, and they do need to jump in the deep end and give things a go. There could be some tension points at the moment, and they're also referencing that they have had issues with exes before. This could be one particular individual that they've had a lot of conflict with. They could be in a dispute with at this point in time. It's funny, anything that's ever come in between you, it's actually made them want you more. So they're saying don't stress about that too much. And I think it's more you guys are saying it, don't stress too much, because it's almost like you can't eliminate destiny. Like something that is destined is meant to be. It's just naturally going to happen. Even if, roadblocks come up, it's destined. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. So they're saying that's kind of the storyline here in their viewpoint and their belief. And it's also what you guys are saying. You in your life, you're very concerned about people around you at the moment. There could be some major transitions. This could be with family members, major changes, and things could be just in general really frustrating you here and there. You're going to find you're probably going to be more assertive, and you're going to stand up for yourself, but you also could have a very if this kind of conversation hasn't happened with this person, it's going to be very vocal. Okay, now this is reverting back to this romantic person. They're saying basically you're going to be very direct, very matter of fact. And this is almost like you're telling the person, look, I'm relationship material, okay? I'm not doing this shit with you no more. If you don't make up your mind, there will be room for me. And it's weird. It's actually attracting them in, okay? There is some air that's being cleared here. This can be to do with betrayals, some clarity. It's almost like you want clarity. You want clarity. Like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, you want confidence back in this, but you're having courage and you want to know. So it's almost like biting a bullet and, saying what you need to say. But I feel as though when this communication comes in, this is your intent regardless. You're like, look, unless you make sense to me, I'm not doing this. You may have blocked this person. It's not going to prevent them from contacting you. Like I said, I actually saw them at your house. Okay, I hope that helps. We will move on to Kerry. Hi, Kerry. How are you doing, my beautiful? I hope you're having a very safe time. I hope your family's well. We haven't talked in so long. I hope your family's well. Big Merry Christmas to your mum and your brother. And to you. You're welcome, Tracy. One of my tips I would give for before Christmas and after, and before New Year's and after, is smudge. Right? You want to bring that, whatever has transpired between groups, clear that energy. Open up to the new. Move into the next chapter so that you're actually spiritually clearing it. Hi, LET. You're clearing it so that energy is, ready to receive new chapters. Okay, so we have Kerry. Oh, gosh. Girl, you are going to be more powerful than you know, okay? You could have some things coming up at the moment where you're feeling at times emotional, where you're feeling very protective. You could be very nostalgic and maybe thinking back to a previous love interest. Maybe there could be children as well. You can be love. You just need to add it, and then I'll add you to the back of the list. Okay, so there's a lot of strong feelings here. A lot of strong feelings, a lot of nostalgia, but this also with your identity and you moving forward, because we have Mars and Leo and you're a Mars sign and you've got the Aries there. You are going to have some new chapters definitely between now and I would say January, February, March. There is a possibility of changes in accommodation. You do have also this conflict. You just want this year done. You honestly just want this year done. This is how the past is kind of linking to you. You have probably since 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm saying 24, 23, 22, 21. Yeah, 2020. I'd say 2020, but I'm picking even further back. You have been going through, because fives are all about changing, okay? All this change. Now, you may be looking to your past and going, nothing's changed. Now, really look back. Does your life resemble what it did in the past? Think 2017. And sometimes we can have all these wonderful little pockets and really regretful that, oh God, I wish that happened and I wish it went a bit better. But you have good memories and you have bad memories. But what has changed? I mean, this isn't looking at the emotion side of things. This is just practically and realistically looking at how much life has changed. Where you live, who's circling around you at the moment. Everything, right? Who are you today? Because the new you, and you wondering where you're going in your life. It's funny because we do have Mars at the moment in Leo. It's an eclipse of the heart, theoretically. Okay, it's all fired up. I know where I'm going. You may want to keep some of your plans to yourself. You could be more assertive in expressing things. There is a very nostalgic feeling you're going to be feeling around Christmas and New Year's, but there is a new chapter coming for you, especially in the area of your home, your love life, living and having all those things that you've always wanted to have. Having a commitment. What you feel about that now? They're asking you to not worry too much about has this person changed, hasn't this person changed? Because, it's almost like when we've learnt lessons, when we've learnt to spot the red flags, etc., we can spot it right away. So regardless of whether they are or aren't there, the feeling is the feeling. I feel, yes, you do want a relationship, but you also know the stark reality that when you go into a relationship, there can be the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you're wondering, have you healed enough to actually be open to that? You just want a quieter life. It's funny. You could have a lot more ambition coming in. You want a quieter life. You want a simpler life. And this has really helped you realize what you are, not what everyone else wants for you. What you see, regardless of their opinions, what you see is going to be correct for you. So I feel you're going to be stepping away from people's opinions, maybe becoming extremely assertive, and it could be cutting. Dealing with these things. There could be a bit of travel for you on the cards. But again, I just keep seeing you really wanting to rest. You want to rest. You want to do things that are playful, creative, that, Mars and Leo, you want to be free. You want to be around people that inspire you, people that make you happy. It is going to be difficult at the moment because Mars will be affecting all of us. So we can have moments of mood swings, moments of irritability, moments of ego, moments of passion, But for you, people are going to be very attracted to you. People are going to be almost like latching onto you. They're telling you to expect the unexpected, to be open-minded and detached. You could be getting some gossip through the grapevine at the moment that can take you a little bit by surprise. Yeah. There's some information. You're undecided where you're going to be next year. They're saying don't stress about it. It's going to be okay. The answer will come to you. Don't worry about how it's going to come, what it's going to look like, because they're literally saying just trust the process. It is going to shift for you. It is going to go in your favor. You are protected. And trust your instincts. Your instincts are extremely, they're extremely intuitive. So if you pick up on that. Okay, who do we have next? Let's check. We have Stella. What's coming in for you? Let's check, Stella. Okay, so the super chats are 20 AUD. The link should be, where's the link? It can be paid via YouTube or PayPal. But the super chat list will be closing soon. What's coming for you? It sounds like the boogeyman, Stella. It's almost like what's coming for me. Shh. Good things, I hope. Technically, because you're an air sign. You'll be good. Passion. We probably don't feel it. The first half of the year, we still have to look after ourselves. So let's put it that way. We're going to have to be patient, very, very patient. You're going to feel tired. You're going to try and be the diplomat like a Libra. But again, with all that Mars energy, and I know where you have Scorpio on your chart, it could be testing. All right, okay. So, They're ultimately saying go and rest. Go to bed, rest. Still not talking with my TF. They're saying something is going to happen extremely quickly that will take you by surprise. Also, the energy of busyness moving into 2025 from here into 2025. If you're getting frustrated, things aren't moving, things are very slow, I would not stress because it's just busy, busy, busy. I don't think so. I just think sudden. Movement. This can be a spontaneous phone call. This could be spontaneous chemistry kind of opening back up. And it's just really surprising you. You're sort of like, oh, heck, where did that come from? You're looking at the past with this, and you're practical about it, but you also feel in the heart of hearts that there's something, how do I explain it? There's something that you feel is off. There's something that you have felt as though isn't right. You feel something's off with this person. You could be a little bit worried about them. Like, are they okay? Are they caring for themselves? Is everything fine? Thanks, Star. I'll put it up there in a minute. You do miss this person. They're saying towards Christmas and New Year's there may be some communication coming in. This person has wanted to reach out. I can't catch a break, so busy. Yes, I feel he is strange. Yeah, they're protective of themselves, but I feel, how do I explain it? You on your side of the fence feel there's way too much going on, it's unmanageable. You also feel, in tuning into this individual and their life, is that this person really micromanages them. It is out of sort for them. Even at just a friendship level, to be able to communicate, to be able to PM you and go, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, how are you doing? How's life been happening? There has been some things going on behind the scenes for them also that has been quite unmanageable. The good thing is, when you do get to the 10 of Wands, it's not manageable, which means we've already acknowledged that. It's like, well, we can't keep this up, okay? Dealing with things, to clear the deck, because we know we can't keep this up. Something's got to give. Thanks, sweet. I'll add you too. Okay, so it's almost like a unmanageable situation, dealing with it, making a sacrifice, being the Fool card in Tarot and moving forward, but initially making a sacrifice. There could be a point that for both of you in your own lives, you're making some temporary sacrifices in some shape in your life, which is actually going to quite mirror, but it's for other people around you and for the sake of peace, for the sake of life. But moving into 2025, I just think that's really changing. Does that make sense, Stella? You could be patient, like they're thinking about you. They are thinking about you. But you're like, how do I put it? There's definitely something shady going on with karmic, okay? There's definitely something there that is dark in nature that is actually kind of pulling it down. Oh, that's good. At least you're meeting in the astro plane in positive. Nothing makes sense for me. It probably won't, Stella. Mars is retrograde. Mars is in a sun sign where we're supposed to know where we're going and being playful. And I mean, you're trying not to whoop someone's butt, okay? Let's just be frank. It's like we can go from 0 to 10 in 2.5, the drop of a hat of frustration. It could be too much going on. Oh my God, I'm getting run down. I'm getting tired. I've said this is probably the first time moving into Christmas and New Year's. I miss my pillow. I just want to sleep. I really just want to sleep. Do I know how everything's going to pan out? Spiritually, even in my own life, especially having the Libra Scorpio axis, it's like, I'm making these changes. I know I need to make these changes, but is everyone else on board? And I don't mean YouTube. I mean energies around me and the analytics of the details. How is it going to pan out? We've set our intentions. We might have been very transparent, the devil in the detail. There's a bit of a pause for it. Do I feel you're going to hear from them? Yes, there is a real heavy energy over that area at the moment with those two individuals. Personally speaking, I just feel there's something a bit secretive. There's something a bit sinister. That's what I'll say. It feels sinister. There's some funky shit going on there. But they're saying you are going to have clarity. Hang in there. There's very, very strong feelings. There's very, very strong changes. I don't see it to be negative. I do see it's going to be positive. So what have I done? I need to update the chat. Any questions, Stella? Copy. How many of you are asleep? I hope I spelled it right, Chester. Yeah, no. Something going on their side, Stella. What? There's something, it feels like wellness related. Now, that can just be cognitive or physical, but it feels cognitive. It's like stress levels, the way they project towards each other, how they're interacting with each other. It feels very heavy. Yeah, feels very heavy. This person's giving in to them at the moment, but it's very temporary because they really have had a gutful. They do want to be a bit more free. They are mentioning and referencing wanting to travel, but they're really kind of fed up of how things are at the moment. Okay, we have True Heart. Yeah, but keep tuning into the astro plane. It could be giving you some additional energy and information for you. Sometimes these conversation pieces from our guides and from loved ones, and they can come in during our sleeping state. Info on my mum and if she's going to keep or lose her leg. Oh, good grief. Mars retrograde can cause inflammations, and although I can't give medical advice, I can tune into the energy and the transits. We had a friend most recently, look, anything down to tattoos, surgery, what you can find is, say if it was aspected in that person's chart, it was going to happen regardless, right? So it's like it's coming up, it's lit up like a Christmas tree, it's occurring. And it can definitely mean that it's coming to a head because it needs doing, aspecting over that person's chart. The other thing is blue and black. Well, that don't sound good, If they're having to act now, there's still a positive possibility. Let's get a chakra card. I still keep going back to the energy of there are reasons why some of these things happen. And sometimes it's because we're meant to go down a particular path, and so it's eliminating one road and pushing us into another forcefully. Do you know what I mean? So we actually do choose as we come into this lifetime how we're coming in, what paths we were intended to experience. And so if this individual, yeah, it sounds bad. More than likely, because it's got to that state, they will do what they need to do ASAP. Yeah, well, the Mars energy's there, physical health, so they're going to be intervening. Now, as to inflammation, what it can is cause extra inflammation, a little bit more delays. Usually that transit will cause a little bit more inflammation and delays on it, but it doesn't mean don't do it. It doesn't mean it won't work. It just means the caring for that situation can take a little bit longer. Yeah, they're saying you're going to have to be patient. They're saying that even for them, when we get the Four of Cups, it's almost like looking at life and, how do I put it? I don't know why I'm getting the glass half full, glass half empty. How they look at it, they're very detached at the moment, linking to being motivated, right? So it can be with life, the taste of life, wanting to do things, being passionate. Universe is pushing them on a different path. They are they are a stubborn individual, okay? They learn the hard way. And I don't mean this is to do with the foot. I mean the attitude and spiritual values towards life, right? They are stubborn. This person has a stubborn energy. Yeah, but this vibration is going to shift, okay? It is going to shift for them. Sometimes the universe likes to put some lightning or some chemistry into our life to create a magical change. There is a new chapter coming. It is going to be a new beginning. It could happen quite quickly. They're saying soon, but they're almost mentioning 3. You're not going to have clarity for 3 weeks, they're saying. This is 3 weeks or 3 months. What the final outcome is going to be. That's what they're saying. Okay? Something is happening very quick, though. So it's really quick. Very quick. Not much time to think. But then you're going to have to wait. There is a waiting time. Okay? There is a waiting time on it. Again, the soul can be a stubborn thing. If the soul was intended to continue to, have a new chapter, if the soul isn't a heavy vibration, but yet they signed up spiritually, being here on this plane, to be here for X amount of years and to do different various things, even if they're in this lower vibration here, a 3D situation can happen to take them back onto their timeline. Does that make sense? Makes sense from what I'm seeing. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not getting positive or negative. I'm getting having to address. It's very quick. It's like, okay, we need to do this now. That's how it's coming through to me. The cards are showing me that you won't have an answer right away. Regardless, they're saying this will change the trajectory of their lifestyle and their attitude. Okay? That's what I can say. I hope that helps. Oh, gosh. Okay, they're even going down the rabbit hole of assets, etc. I'll PM you about that one. I'll do it here, quicker now, privately. Yeah, I don't think that's meant for public consumption. But you know what this person's like, so you will totally understand what I'm meaning by this. Okay. There you go. I PM'd you. It's in your inbox on Facebook. You can get the gist of what it's about. But, this individual has, what would the word be? And it's not that they don't have a right to have that vibration. It's just, you could be going, oh, God, do we have to talk about this now? But, yeah, they're like, yeah, we want to talk about this now. Okay, Ali T, do I have your name correct? Are you in the house? What would you like to know, my love? Sweet. Yeah, I just thought I'd put it in there. I probably spelled it wrong. I was in a hurry. I've had to have 2 antihistamines, naughty me, but my sinus. Okay. Hi, love. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Your solar plexus at the moment is in reverse. And this can be to do with you feeling, it's weird. There's a bit of a lesson here, I feel. I can say, how do I explain it? It's a little bit like a beautiful field that has, all its fertilizer and compost, and its environment is really rich and organic. And we plant some seeds. So we are that kind of bed that we're going to plant seeds into. So I could say it can be very creatively fertile. Now, could that be physically? Yes. Okay. It could be physically. there's something in this next chapter that you're moving into that you may not understand, because the card's coming up in reverse, that you may not understand. You do have the power. So it's going to help you reshape your confidence. It's going to help you re-believe in yourself of what you can attract. This is from a creative point of view. How can I explain it? In love, in creativity, in career, in everything. There's a rebirth here. But because the card is in reverse, it could be, I would say, because of the transits, it's the yellow chakra. There could be a feeling of uncertainty of where you're going. Is it going to be okay? Like almost like we can get very, we can get panicky, we can get controlly, we can get feeling almost like we're going the wrong way. We can even second guess ourselves that we are going down the wrong path. Am I going to be safe? Are they going to hurt me? And we want this real definite assurance. And it's funny because this is to do with confidence in going, am I going to go into this new chapter of my life in a very open, playful way? Or am I going to, you know, in the relationship context, if this was with a person that you had a connection to previously, because Mars is retrograde, it can bode quite positively. If this is a person you've just recently met, you may need to be more flexible with it because you may not know the total outcome till about March next year, okay? If that gives you some context. Would this be the time to get married? No, not yet. Especially in a chapter sense, I would wait for both Mars and Venus to go direct, point blank. If you can, the success rate for any connections is better. That's also business ventures, etc. It's not to say once Mars goes direct, you can't, you can. But usually this is more to do with the fact that you're not realizing you have more power than you think. So at the moment, what you can be using to kind of amplify that inside your life can be some crystals. It could be in attracting safety in it. I would say root chakra and the yellow chakra. So I would probably use like yellow gemstones, maybe drinking some honey and lemon tea. Again, if you've got any allergies, make sure you avoid any of these. But it can be any yellow stones, meditation to do with inner child and confidence. I'm currently getting a divorce, but yes, I am very guarded. I am just starting to open up. Well, that makes sense, love, because, you know, this card and where the transits are at the moment, Mars can be severing contract, but at the moment, choose between now and March next year to sit with it and tune into what that meant. Okay? Yes, citrine's great for detoxing, great for bringing, you know, the confidence levels up. I used it on my twin. It worked a treat. You know, I gave these crystals to him. And, you know, if there's a malefic moon, don't charge them during the moon. Just use some salt water. You know, put them near a plant. You can charge them that way. Wash them with water after and, you know, reuse them. But definitely in intervals, recharge them. If the chakra is overactive, it could be too dominant. Now, I think at the moment this can be nostalgic, but what Mars is going to help you find inside yourself is the confidence to feel sexy, beautiful, you know, whoever you are, whatever you're doing. It's going to help you revisit your power, and it's going to also help you realize that, you know, maybe this was needed for your future moving forward. And, you know, they are saying that chapters moving forward are going to be more who you are, and the people that you're going to attract into your life are going to be more who you are. You know, sometimes, like I said, we can go back down memory lane and we're like, oh, this is all I could be. Now, could it be that you do reconcile? Very possibly. If that is something spiritually you just do not want, That's okay too, because something in you is definitely changing and it's attracting brand new situations for you in brand new ways to look at these connections. But it is positive. But I would say you can feel extremely melancholy at the moment, betrayed, lacking confidence, protective. Try to tune out like you're having a pina colada holiday. Okay? Try to go into this very moment and just go, it's almost like getting excited. I'm free. I am going to have so much abundance in my life. I'm going to have so much fun. Everything's lighter, no conflicts and fights, no uncertainty, because I'm recreating my world. And that is actually going to bring through positive things for you. Yeah. Make sure to take it off and wash it now and then and to give it a break, because what you can find is the crystal stops working. But that's usually because you've actually achieved a certain level of ascension, and it means you're going into another thing where you're needing something else. Okay? So I'll look at this spouse, 100%. 100%. Does not feel negative at all. It feels as though you're opening up. The thing you don't want to do is go smack bang into another connection. You want to give it the grace to really feel well and truly like you got your footing. You've given yourself some time. I always say, it's like, why are we always in a hurry to get the ball and chain on the ankle? It's like, there's plenty of time. Take some time. We probably spend more time investing in relationships than we do in ourselves. So if we can take a year, and I don't feel it's going to be that for you. I really do not feel that at all. I do feel an energy very close by, if it hasn't occurred already. I just feel you're going to need to take your time. And if you can do that, you're setting the next relationship up for huge success. Okay? Shasta. Where's we at? Last but not least, who else do we have in the house? Everyone dropping off like a perch. They're like, you know what? We had our reading. We're going. Which I think is crazy, because there's always a tip in someone's reading that actually does link to something that we're all going through. Whatever Spirit wants to tell me. Let's see. You all ready for Christmas? There's a moody, broody energy happening around you at the moment. Is it some change you're going through? Is it like a wardrobe change? Is there an event you're going to, an outfit? What are they referencing here? They're showing me a different energy. Different energy, different style. There is a protectiveness there. You're most welcome, love. I met this guy. Yeah, definitely. But there does feel to be a new chapter. I am rethinking my career and life. Yeah, because it's like a funeral. It literally, and honestly, it's like I saw this. Okay, where you're living right now, is it, and this could be a building you're going to talk to somebody, but there is sort of like, it could be an apartment or a 2-story townhouse. It's like, but this sometimes what it can be is the image they're giving me is more the demeanor, okay? Feeling boxed in, or it could be that you have an apartment on the bottom floor, like a terrace or a townhouse, or but even the clothing that you're wearing, I think it's more a metaphor for where you're going, okay? And it was weird. It was literally, not that I have an issue with black. No, I do not have an issue with wearing black. I love wearing black. It's very thinning. It morphs me into the background, and I'm damn for that. I'm like, yeah, we do that. Now, I do like color energy, but even I dream in color. I draw with pencil, but for some reason, this black energy was around you, and it was like this funeral to your old life that you weren't resonating with, and it was like you were going into mourning about it, but you were also very powerful. It felt like this very powerful energy of you taking control of your life and going, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I do not resonate with this anymore. This is not for me. I am ready for so much more. And it's like there's an anger, but what do I say? Anger? Yeah, but it's not lasting long because you're turning it into alchemy. You're like, no, I'm not going to complain about this. I actually want to do something that I'm really passionate about, where I'm respected, where I'm growing, and I don't want to complain about this anymore. I actually want to do something about it. That's how it's coming through. Does that make sense? You're like, no, this just isn't for me. You want, yeah, it's just not for you. And you've tried. There can be some very conflicting situations happening maybe in that environment, or that you have been second guessing it. I think it, yeah. So I would say your accommodation energy is going to change. I don't know why this has come out all of a sudden. It also, you could end up doing two things. There could be a revelation that you're going into a new job. It's more suitable to who you are, but where your passion is, this could be a side hustle, a project, or something creative. It could be a home-based business. You could be doing that. Now, it could be taking the environment of what you're doing right now and working from home. That could happen. It's like you're looking at different ways you can actually navigate this situation moving forward. But I do see you at some point actually doing a side hustle and it giving you a bit more freedom. If you haven't purchased a house, I do see there's a possibility of purchasing a house, a terrace, a unit, because I keep coming back to and it looks very lavish. It looks like a very attractive location. Lots of changes in your life at the moment, but it's in various areas. It's almost like you're not crying over spilt milk anymore. You're just ready. You're ready for a total change. You're not going to take none of this crap next year. Your guides are trying to work with you and to give you the information you need to prepare you, but they're heightening emotions at the moment. You can also be becoming super sensitive to people's energy. It's almost like you're walking into a room and you're picking up on them, you're channeling them. It's just, when you walk into a room and there's an ick feeling, somebody's in a bad mood, and it's like, oh God, here we go. That's kind of what's being shown to me. So you are picking up on energies, and it can be, yeah, I do think so. Side hustle would be my idea. Yeah, and it does. I see you in this quiet space. Yeah, so the energy that you're absorbing is very like, oh, I'm unattracted by this, but it's so intuitive at the moment with particular individuals. It's almost like, yeah, telepathy, okay? Just absorbing energy, telepathy, getting their vibes, like a fly on the wall, and you're seeing everything. It doesn't mean to say it needs to directly impact us, right? It doesn't have to impact us. Take it where it's necessary, ditch it where it's not. But focus on, regardless of your intuitive instincts. I mean, I actually had this revelation yesterday. I'm not that I haven't always had it, but I'm doing it a lot more at the moment. It's like scanning situations. I can see so much that maybe somebody that isn't present in that moment can see because they're choosing not to. So I see you actually, assessing things, but don't allow it to affect you. It doesn't have to. Use that information and go, okay, I got the PDF early. Now I'm going to take some action to position myself in a very good position. And who I mix with, what I do, how I use my frequency. You're preparing. Do I think this new chapter for you is going to be positive? Yes, you're going to have the courage to get things off the ground, start the process to get the ball rolling. This could be a long, like I said, if you're hating your job, for instance, and you're like, but I'll need a foundation. Like I said, it could be that you end up continuing doing what you're doing and starting the side hustle to get it to a point it needs to be and then transitioning over. Or you're going to find a new position that's really basic, that you have no energy commitment to apart from a cash component, and you're going in there. It could be a part-time job, it could be a casual, whatever it is, but something that you can do very simply to generate an income, as well as pouring extra overtime into your side hustle to get you where you need to be, but I do see you achieving it. But you are going to have to make a sacrifice. But I definitely see it's like that sacrifice for you means spiritual freedom, whatever this choice is. Whatever this commitment is, an intuitive energy that you're looking at, it's like you're trying to make a good choice. Okay? Do you get what I'm saying? You're like, am I going to have the energy? Am I going to have the courage? How am I going to get this off the ground? You are working it out. You're looking at the devil in the detail. Now, if you have had an issue in this environment, okay, what warnings do we need to give you? I could say if you hate it, like, it smells like a septic tank, it's probably going to smell like a septic tank next year too. Yeah, don't. So if you're like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Yeah, don't kid yourself, okay? Mars is retrograde. If it stinks now, it's going to stink then. So get your ducks in a row. Put your papers down, okay? Because all that's coming is going to drive you crazy. If it's not, if you feel you can, hats off to you, right? Be aware, and then it's a sacrifice you're consciously making in knowing it's shit. But you're going into it going, haha, but there's something they don't know. I'm psychologically preparing my footing so that this doesn't own me and I can be free. Does that make sense? So either way you go, acknowledge what this is and start taking those steps, because it's going to liberate you from all that. I hope that helps. So for those of you that don't know, yes, we are launching the Sage Network next year. The blog post for it is on the website, or you can stream down. I am posting regularly in our community tab at YouTube, which gives you the links to get on the email list or other ways to get into the new membership. You're most welcome. It's going to have education. It's going to have updates. It's going to have coaching sessions, webinars. All the information about it is in our community post or via Yildiz Readings 5D. There are 3 stages of it opening. First will be those that are members on YouTube, get first dibs. Anyone who becomes a YouTube member within between December and January can get on the list to enter in. Providing everything goes according to plan. I need to update some of my analytics inside YouTube. Otherwise, the secondary way is via an email, and then later in the year, it's going to be open to the public. So if you don't get on that list in that format, you may miss out, and you don't want to miss out on actually joining the actual welcome party to the Sage Inner Circle Network. So all information on the main page or directly through our website for all the details. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.